It's a beautiful day for baseball. And live from Camelback Ranch in Glendale, Arizona, Sportsnet LA presents the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Chicago White Sox as the Dodgers get ready to play their 25th game of rehearsal. Hi again, everybody. Charlie Steiner and Oral Hershiser. Big day today for Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw is going to be making his first start since last Friday when he took that comebacker off the bat of Andy Perino. After taking that comebacker, he lost a tooth, had a bunch of oral surgery done later that night. Kershaw went on to pitch another 2 2/3 innings and gave up one base hit. When he was done with that, he went out to the bullpen for more work, and then he got a lot of dental work done until about 10:30 last Friday night. So this is his first start since then. He's getting ready for his first start of the season, opening day against the Padres.
Yeah, and this is an important start because there's 2 starts left. There's today and then one more and then the opener. So he wants to go out there and continue to build his innings, to get the times where you get your arm hot and you get your arm cold and you see if it responds. And you see the outings so far, 2 innings, 3 innings, 3 1/3, the 5 that you just mentioned, Charlie. And today he's going to try and get close to the 95 pitch mark. But talking to pitching coach Rick Honeycutt, the most important thing for Clayton today is the hots and the colds, the innings, to get out there, get it going, and then get back out there and do it again.
The pitching matchup today, the gold standard, Clayton Kershaw, Brad Penny going for the White Sox. We're going to take a break, come back with the lineups in first pitch. Dodgers and White Sox are coming up next. Nothing but sunshine on this Thursday afternoon in the Valley of the Sun as the White Sox take the field and the Dodgers get ready for their 25th game of the spring. Of course, the big story from the Dodger perspective today will be the start of Clayton Kershaw. He is expected to go about 95 pitches. Rick Honeycutt, of course, will have a close eye on Clayton and the rest of the relievers who might be seeing some action today, including Adam Libator, Paco Rodriguez, Joel Peralta, Chris Hatcher, and Pedro Baez. In the meantime, Don Mattingly in his 5th season as the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers has put this lineup together with Rollins and Puig with the big home run yesterday and Gonzalez at first base. Yasmani Grandal in the cleanup spot behind the plate. Howie Kendrick hitting over 400 this spring. Carl Crawford in left. Uribe still looking to find a groove at third base. Andre Ethier has been sensational over the past week to 10 days. Pitching and batting ninth is Clayton Kershaw, and they will be facing the one-time Dodger, Brad Penny.
And Brad, at 36 years old, 12 years of Major League experience, really looking to hook on with the White Sox or another Major League club. A very much of an outside chance that he makes the rotation for the White Sox. They pretty much have him in spring training as an insurance policy. Brad's probably pitching mostly for a lot of the scouts behind the backstop today, just in case there's a fifth hole in another organization that he can fill.
Brad Penny, 6'4", 230 pounds. Pitched for the Dodgers from 2004 through 2008. Came up with the Marlins. After the Dodgers to the Red Sox, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Tigers, back to the Giants. Last year, a cup of coffee with the Marlins, where it all began for Brad. A career record of 121 and 101. An ERA over the course of his career at 4.29. In his day, he was a big strikeout pitcher.
He is a guy that, you know, at this point in his career, he's looking to have a really good spring and latch on with somebody else. I don't think it's going to be the White Sox. Brad has already stated that he will not pitch out of the bullpen, and that's probably the only place he could pitch for the White Sox in long relief. So he's looking to have a good day today, and the way the ball was carrying here yesterday, he better watch out.
The Dodgers hit 4 more home runs yesterday. The Dodgers lead the majors with 37 home runs this spring, for whatever that may be worth. What is noteworthy, the next most home runs, 30 by the Cubs. So the Dodgers, of course, with the absence of Hanley Ramirez and Matt Kemp, they have spread it out, and Jimmy Rollins will be leading it off. He'll be followed by Yasiel Puig and Adrian Gonzalez, and right away the White Sox put the shift on for Jimmy Rollins, 317 this spring. First pitch is a call strike. It's 0-1. Jimmy is 13 for 41, 2 RBIs, 4 doubles, and 2 triples. Hit one of those triples yesterday afternoon. So he's been rock solid this spring. Puig on deck, and Rollins swings and misses. Penny quickly ahead, 0-2.
Jimmy taking a hack at that big Brad Penny curveball. Had good finish to it, so had Jimmy swinging over the top of it.
So Alexei Ramirez is on the first base side of second. Micah Johnson and Jose Abreu man the right side of the infield. Abreu just about 6 feet off the line at first. Penny on 0-2. Call strike 3.
Fastball in the inner corner after the breaking ball down and in. Jimmy Rollins really looking at that pitch, not expecting it to come back. Brad Penny made it two-seamer, come back in.
Yasiel Puig yesterday launched one in the first inning. For Puig, that was his 4th home run of the spring. He has 10 runs batted in. First couple of weeks, he was kind of slow getting started. In the last week or so, he has really begun to heat it up. He fouls it back. It's 0-1. Puig is 9 for 34 overall.
He looks a little squarer at the plate, where he's got 2 eyes on the pitcher now and the ball in flight. Not quite as closed up, and it looks like it's been a very effective adjustment.
They're playing deep and straight away for Puig. Just underway. Prior to the game, out in center field, Puig was visiting some old Cuban friends. Alexei Ramirez, the White Sox shortstop, and Jose Abreu, the first baseman for the White Sox. 1 ball and 1 strike. Strike on the outside corner.
Over the years, it seems like the fraternization rule has kind of been bent and completely broken. I remember in my day, we weren't really supposed to talk to the opposing team when in uniform. It got bent back in my day during spring training, but the regular season, it really wasn't forced.
Not so anymore.
No, not anymore.
1-2 to Puig. In the dirt.
And they were out there. They were jumping around and doing some stretching, but it was mostly, I think, the conversation was the primary reason they were there, not to get themselves loose.
Of course, it's been written, and it's on the internet, so it's got to be true. The Dodgers have agreed to a deal with Hector Olivera, outstanding second baseman, third baseman. Just outside in low 3-2.
Supposed to be, by scouts, saying the second best hitter to come out of Cuba outside of Jose Abreu. I wonder where they had Mr. Puig ranked. His bat is up there in that ranking.
Well, above and beyond the bat, there's not a whole lot that Puig athletically cannot do. Penny on 3-2. Into right. Avisail Garcia. 2 gone. Defensively behind Brad Penny on this sun-drenched Thursday afternoon. J.B. Shuck is in left field. Emilio Bonifacio in center. Avisail Garcia is in right. Connor Gillespie at third base. Alexi Ramirez at short. Micah Johnson, who's been a very pleasant surprise at second base, appears to have won that job. Abreu at first. Tyler Flowers is behind the plate. And here's Brad Penny facing Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez 8 for 39 this spring. And takes a strike. It's 0-1. And if you're wondering about Olivera, it's not like he's going to show up here tomorrow and suddenly take over. He's not even in the country yet. He's got visa issues to work through, physicals, all that stuff. So over-under is probably sometime the middle of May, one would think. Here's the 0-1, and Gonzalez fouls it off to the left. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. But there appears to be very little question about the skills of Olivera at second base or third base. And of course, the Dodgers also have Alexander Guerrero and Arisbel Arabarena, Cuban expats. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. First inning just underway. And Penny into the wind. And Adrian Gonzalez, the hitting machine, playing single to left field. Mentioned yesterday. You could pretty much go into a season knowing that Adrian will hit somewhere around 295, hit about 20-25 home runs, and knock in 110 or more RBIs.
And because of this approach right here, Brad Penny coming back with the fastball in that he struck out Jimmy Rollins looking on, but Adrian learning from that was trying to protect against that pitch, and because Penny got it up, he was able to fist it into left field.
Now Yasmani Grandal, born in Cuba, graduated high school in Miami, and takes a ball outside and low, 1 ball and no strikes. Came to the States when he was 10 or 11 years old. The switch hitter batting from the left side. Just 8 for 41 so far this spring with a home run and 4 runs batted in. There's a strike.
Yasmani's swing looks like it's really coming along. I really like the way he swings the bat from the left side.
And of course, he'll be splitting time behind the plate with A.J. Ellis. A.J., of course, a right-handed hitter. Here's the 1-1, and Grandal fouls it back. It's 1-2.
And with the leg issues that he had last year, they expect the average to go up. The on-base percentage was outstanding for somebody who hit a 225 mark, and then they expect the power to go up. So there's a lot of upside here with this acquisition. And defensively, they always said the detriment was his throwing and stolen base percentage, but that has looked a lot better this spring already.
1-2. Gonzalez not a threat to go anywhere. Penny thought he had strike 3.
It looks like he's added a little cutter. He stole a strike with Adrian Gonzalez on a cutter away, and here he's trying to throw something inside. Looks like it backed up a little bit for him.
Anthony Johnson is the home plate umpire today. 2-2. Grandal has another pitch to work with. And into left field, it's going to drop for a base hit in front of J.B. Shuck. Penny muttering to himself, I should have had strike 3 on that call. Grandal gets another pitch to work with, and he turns it into a single to left.
He had Yasmani opening up. He just blooped it out there. He's trying to get it way in, and the ball leaks over the middle of the plate, but Yasmani opening up, looking for the ball in. The ball ends up over the middle. He hits it off the end of the bat and finds a hole.
Now here's Howie Kendrick. The veteran is 15 for 37 in his first spring with the Dodgers. That's a .405 average. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 home run, 8 runs batted in, and 5 doubles.
This is an at-bat near the end of spring where the juices start flowing a little bit for Howie. Trying to produce right here, mimic what will happen in the regular season, get this 2-out RBI.
Chopper slowly hit to second base. That's Micah Johnson. And that's that for the Dodgers in the first. No runs, 2 hits. Clayton Kershaw's coming up. He'll be facing big league season with the White Sox, and one of the all-time great college baseball players has put this lineup together for the Sox, who expect to be vastly improved this year. Micah Johnson has won the job, or so it would seem, at second base, hitting .405 this spring. Alexi Ramirez, the talented shortstop. Jose Abreu, .450 this spring. Adam LaRoche, and then it'll be Asvael Garcia. Connor Gillespie at third base. Tyler Flowers, the catcher. J.B. Shuck in left. And the veteran Emilio Bonifacio's had a slow start at bat this spring. And here's Clayton Kershaw.
Looking to extend his spring. Probably go about 90-95 pitches. Maybe 6 innings. And through 7 warm-up pitches and only 2 strikes. See if he can zone it in.
Yep.
Yeah, he threw 2 to the left side of the plate, 2 to the right side of the plate, 1 curveball that hung, another fastball that was up, and let's throw it down.
Up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. So it was last Friday when Kershaw took that comebacker. On the left side of the jaw, here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said at the time, there was another attribute of which we were not aware about Kershaw. He could take a punch. Got himself up, dusted himself off, and then went 2 2/3 innings and promptly strikes out Johnson here in the first inning.
Zoning himself in right now, just going with all heaters right there. Didn't go to the slider, didn't go to a cut fastball, just fastballs. I'm going to just beat to the spot. I'm out here to get my work in, attack the strike zone. Just blows it right by him.
So as you mentioned, he's going to throw 90, 95 pitches today. He'll have one more start, probably one of those freeway series games where he'll just go out and break a sweat.
Whatever he feels like he wants to do. He's on his own program now. When you've won 3 Cy Youngs, now an MVP, thrown the innings that he's done, kept himself healthy. Rick Honeycutt and he are on the same page, and pretty much the conversation goes, Clayton, what do you want to do?
Ramirez takes high, 2 balls, no strikes. It was a once in a generation season last year for Clayton Kershaw. The 2-0.
Well, the career ERA now for pitchers that have over 1,000 innings since 1920 is number 1, 2.48.
Cy Young MVP last season. Delivers a strike, 3-1. Of course, 3 Cy Young awards. Last year, 2013, 2011. The All-Star game 4 years in a row. Also won the Gold Glove. And he misses outside, ball 4.
And that will irritate him. Perfectionist.
Defensively behind Kershaw on this sunny Thursday afternoon, Crawford and Andre Ethier is in center field. Ethier has started all 3 outfield spots. Puig in right. And the starting infield on opening day, Uribe, Rollins, Kendrick, and Gonzalez. As Yasmani Grandal is catching Clayton Kershaw. So any thought that Ellis would be the personal catcher for Clayton Kershaw, that notion has been dismissed. This is the second start for Grandal behind the plate for Kershaw, and they're going out and have a chat.
The chat right here for me is slow it down a little bit, maybe, big fella. And then the other thing is all your misses are up. Let's get the ball down.
Rick Honeycutt in his 10th year as pitching coach for the Dodgers, and Don Mattingly in his 5th as the manager. Abreu into center field for a base hit. So the 1-out walk, and Abreu, a hard line drive to center.
Well, if you're the White Sox, you can pretty much watch Clayton Kershaw warm up and then watch him pitch the first few hitters, and you know he's coming out this inning and he's going to work on his fastball. He hasn't thrown a breaking ball. He hasn't sniffed a slider or a changeup, and he's just trying to get his exercise right now and throw his fastball. And they're just expecting it right now, and especially when you fall behind in the count.
Now here's Adam LaRoche. LaRoche and Abreu will be splitting duty at first base. One will DH, one will play first base, and LaRoche promptly lines a base hit toward the left field corner. Ramirez will score easily. Abreu will arrive at third base on the double by LaRoche, and the White Sox take a 1-0 lead.
Again, a fastball, and we're just going to get our exercise, and yeah, we're upset we give up a hit and a run, but it's spring training, it's the first inning, and I want to throw my 90-95 pitches. He'd like to throw them out here on the mound on the field, not be doing that in the bullpen. But he's accomplishing what he wants so far, which is to throw strikes and use his fastball, but it's just not getting any results right now, Charlie.
So Kershaw's dug himself a bit of a hole. Avisail Garcia is coming up. 366 this spring. He'll be the starting right fielder for the Sox. Takes a strike, 0-1. When the season begins, it'll be Garcia in right, Adam Eaton in center field, and Melky Cabrera in left. Eaton and Cabrera not playing today. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes.
There's an equalizer. There's the slider. It just disappears.
Connor Gillespie is on deck. Second and third and 1 out. A 1-out walk to Ramirez, a single for Abreu, a double for LaRoche. So as you were watching Kershaw warm up, oftentimes fans between innings are eating their popcorn or they've gone to the kitchen, whatever it may be. What does the 7 or 8 pitches of a warm-up sequence suggest to you as you watch them get ready?
Well, if I was a hitter going to face him, I would see what he has a release point for. And right now he's shown he has a release point on the curve, so that gets into the back of the mind of the next hitter. But you're talking warm-ups, and I would say you're looking to see, is he commanding the left side of the plate? Is he commanding the right side of the plate? Does he have a release point for his breaking ball? Is he just out there getting loose and he's that kind of guy that can turn it on? I think Clayton is that kind of guy that you really don't get a tremendous amount of information from his warm-ups, because when he puts his game face on and the hitter gets in the box, I think he's a completely different pitcher than when he's throwing to A.J. Ellis or Grandal in between innings.
Connor Gillespie steps in. Gillespie 9 for 36. Couple of doubles, couple of RBIs, second and third and 2 out. Up and in.
Well, he's 17 pitches into this first inning, and he would like to get it over in a hurry. So I think that's why we're starting to see him break out a few breaking balls, just to be up and down. Like I said, he would like to do that in the game, not go down to the bullpen and get the extra work. To do that and go 5 or 6 out here, he's going to have to keep the pitch count under control.
Gillespie came up with the Giants. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I think that slider is the one that you would have saw Charlie to Adam LaRoche if it would have been the regular season, and I don't think he's going to groove a fastball 1-0 to Abreu that he gave up the base hit up the middle on. So I think just this is all about him getting his exercise, competing a little bit, but making sure he gets his work in.
90, 95 pitches by the time the day is done for Kershaw today. That's the plan. Gillespie takes a strike.
Fastball in. Slider away, fastball in. The sequence is set up. He can double up in and look for a little pop-up to save the run, or he can go slider away in the dirt, make it look like a fastball down the middle that should start the bat, and then bury it away.
So Connor Gillespie, who hit .282 last year with the Sox. The 1-2. Kershaw strikes out the side, but he walks a batter, gives up a single and a double, leaves 2. The Sox have a 1-0 lead as we go to the second. Carl Crawford will lead it off for the Dodgers. For Wednesday, April the 8th. when the Dodgers play host to the Padres in the third game of the season at 7:10. Because the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive an adult replica pullover jacket presented by Bank of America. To secure your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Kershaw in the first inning strikes out the side, 20 pitches, 12 of them 4 strikes. As Carl Crawford steps in. Carl 6 out of 32 this spring, 188. 1 double, 5 singles. Crawford, a 300 hitter last year, takes low and outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Outside of that freakish sprained ankle in left field at Dodger Stadium where the grass meets the warning track, set him back a bit. It was a very healthy year. And Crawford takes under the knees. 2 balls, no strikes. No elbow issues anymore. The hamstrings were good. The quads were good. The calves were good. And this is the first time in years that Crawford didn't have to rehab a thing in the offseason.
Yeah, when healthy, Carl Crawford is a premier player. And something that the Dodger fans look forward to, a full season of him being healthy. And that would be exciting for all of us.
And how important is it that he didn't have to rehab anything? He just got himself completely in shape for the season. Takes a 4-pitch walk to begin the second.
There's so much that we talk about is health of a player. So you talk about getting him on the field, but enough health also to practice and to get stronger in the offseason. And that's what Carl benefited from this year.
Well, 105 games last year, again, primarily sidelined by the ankle. 116 games the previous year. You know he's going to hit around 300. Now Juan Uribe still looking to find his stroke this spring. Takes a ball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Uribe turned 36 earlier in the week. Entering his 15th big league season. Came up as a shortstop with the Rockies. Then played with the White Sox, including their championship team, 2004 through 2008. A couple of years with the Giants, and now his 5th season with the Dodgers. Foul past Lorenzo Bundy, 1-1. Uribe, a career .257 hitter. He's good for 15 to 20 home runs a year. 75, 80 runs batted in when right.
Where is he now on the career home run list? He got 250 yet?
Up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Uribe's career home run, 178.
178. There's some pop. We're talking about the Dodger power and the loss of power from Ramirez and Kemp. But throughout this lineup, if Carl Crawford is healthy, if Uribe is healthy, there are guys that are the 15 to 20 home run guys that could be throughout the whole lineup. Could get that out of the catching slot now with Grandal there sharing time with Ellis.
Big Red on the bench today, Justin Turner.
And the power that comes off the bench. Who knows what Jacques might do if he's playing in center field every day, coming off a 30-30 year in AAA.
Andre Ethier takes low, 1 ball and no strikes. So Ethier's been hot of late. 13 out of 39, a home run and 8 runs batted in, 4 doubles. Ethier, a couple of hits yesterday. And another one today. Crawford rounding third, and he will score. Uribe is on his way to third base. So Andre Ethier continues to have a terrific week for the Dodgers. He's tied the score at 1 as Crawford scores without the throw.
Oh, yeah, it's just a ground ball. No, it is a sharp ground ball from a well-balanced, powerful swing. He is on that. The choke-up method that he's used so far this spring is really working, giving him more bat control, not as many swings and misses, and definitely barreling up more balls.
And here's Clayton Kershaw. Now will Kershaw be sacrificing? He's been terrific at that over the course of his career. Penny fires a throw to first, and Ethier back easily.
It's a fun situation to be the bunter slash hitter, because first and third you could be squaring around to sacrifice, and if you wanted to, they could put on a squeeze or a safety squeeze. You could turn around and then slash.
Up and away. Kershaw 6 sacrifices last year. In 2010, he had 18.
Well, they've got Ramirez, their shortstop, going to second base. They've got Gillespie at third crashing, and that left side of the infield is going to end up wide open. He'd just pull it back and slap it that way. If he'd have a lot of fun just hitting a routine ground ball to the left side.
Last year, Kershaw hit a .175, knocked in 3. A couple of years back, opening day, Kershaw with the late inning home run against the Giants. Clayton is angry with himself.
Well, he's got great technique up there. He just, the eye-hand coordination right now. He's got good balance. He's got the bat in the proper position. He's got it out there in front, getting ready to catch it. And just as he goes to make contact, he's fouling it off. Can't fault the effort right now. It's just his eyes are fooling him.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Kershaw. Leadoff walk to Crawford. Single for Uribe, an RBI single for Ethier. Uribe's at third, Andres at first. The 1-2 from Penny. Well, mission accomplished. The sacrifice. Ethier goes to second. Sacrifice 1-4 is the score.
He ended up getting to bunt the breaking ball, and if you're going to throw a breaking ball right there at Brad Penny, you want to think about trying to bounce it a little bit so that Kershaw chases it down in the dirt, but he left it up for him and made it a little easier pitch to bunt.
So Jimmy Rollins steps in with runners at second and third and 1 out. Rollins struck out on 3 pitches in his first at-bat. Puig on deck. No balls and a strike to Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy's 36 now, 15th big league season.
It's a perfect example of how a roster decision can play out as far as what you're looking for in your ball club. Hanley Ramirez could be up in this situation right now as a shortstop and a poorer defender than Jimmy. Jimmy's up there, more of a contact guy, really just trying to put the ball in play and pick up the scratch run, where Hanley would be up there more trying to drive the ball and risking the strikeout. Dodgers looking for just Jimmy to put this ball in play, or pass the baton and load the bases and hand it off to the next guy, Yasiel Puig. So this is the mental side of the game, the strategy side, going for the all or nothing, or going for somebody that's going to play consistently and by the book.
On 2-1. Well, he's going to get a run in. In to score is Uribe, and he could not flag it down. Fielder's choice RBI for Rollins, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead.
There's the difference between scoring one a lot in those situations, or 3-run homer, or double in the gap and score 2 every so often. And Jimmy just gets it in play, gets the run, passes the baton to Yasiel. The inning is still going on.
Puig flied to right in his first at-bat and cracked his 4th home run of the season yesterday. High and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers and Giants tomorrow night. And Vin will be here. Two gone, 2 in here in the second. 1-1. Zach Greinke will pitch for the Dodgers tomorrow night. Two runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers, a run and 2 hits for the Sox. 2-1. On Sunday, the Dodgers and Angels over in Tempe. Of course, we'll have that game for you. Two balls and 2 strikes to Yasiel Puig. Now the question about Puig came up, of course, 3rd of June a couple of years ago. Got off to the great start, faded down the stretch. Last year, an all-star, faded down the stretch. Can he put 2 halves of a season together?
And that's something that he definitely is working on as far as the mental side too, and the preparation, being consistent with how he comes to the park and where he arrives and what his habits are. He seems to be growing in that area.
Deep to left center field. Yasiel Puig, for the 2nd consecutive day, has hit a long distance home run. His 5th of the spring, now has an even dozen RBIs, and the Dodgers lead it 4-1.
He supplied the power. It was an off-speed breaking ball that he was a little bit out in front of, but had enough swing left to really stay on it. You see he gets it at full extension right where he can just launch that ball. Slightly out in front. No, he can stay with it because of the good balance. Dropped the bat head and launched it.
Gonzalez takes a strike. It was a mid-season home run and a preseason bat flip. Gonzalez takes up and away 1-1.
The home runs that you give up where the batter hits them to center field, it can look like they were staring you down, but they're actually tracking their home run, fly ball. But yeah, Yasiel looked like he was looking out at Brad Penny. I think he was watching the flight of the ball. He had a nice bat flip, huh? Just a little one.
That was low key.
Yeah.
It was exhibition.
The one yesterday was.
That was a bat flip.
That was midseason.
Gonzalez rolls it foul toward the White Sox dugout. So the Dodgers now with 38 home runs this spring. And again, it's spring. Noteworthy because it seems like everybody in the lineup has 3 or 4 home runs. And you were mentioning earlier about the balance in the lineup as Gonzalez takes low, 3-2. There may not be a 40 or 50 home run guy in the lineup, but you got about a half a dozen capable of 20 or more.
Yes, you do. And with the guys that are around the 20 mark, you have guys that are going to put professional at-bats in situations like second and third, no out. And they're going to know where to make the out to pick up the 2 scratch runs because they're not swinging from their heels.
Abreu makes the play. Gonzalez is retired, and that'll end the inning. But the Dodgers come up with 4 runs, including the 2-run shot by Yasiel Puig. 4-1 after an inning and a half. Two years ago in spring, Yasiel Puig hit about 500. They sent him to Double-A. And it took him until June 3rd to bring him up. And from the first time we laid eyes on him 2 years ago in spring to this very moment, 147 on Thursday afternoon, March of 26. He's always in the middle of stuff. 2-run home run, his 5th of the spring. And Tyler Flowers leads it off. Taking a strike. The White Sox come into the season feeling like they're a little bloop into short left field. Jimmy Rollins, like a wide receiver, making the catch over the shoulder, 1 out. American League Central, in fact, both Central divisions, you can make a compelling case, are the 2 strongest divisions this year. You got the Tigers. Sports Illustrated put the kiss of death on the Indians. They think they're going to win the World Series. So our condolences go out to Terry Francona and his fine organization. The Royals, of course, World Series. White Sox, 73 wins last year, vastly improved with a major overhaul. And the White Sox think they can be right in the middle of it. But there are two questions. One of them's behind the plate, Tyler Flowers. Can he hit enough? And Connor Gillespie at third base. Rest of the lineup is really strong. Pitching is better. They get David Robertson to close. The bullpen vastly improved. And of course, you're looking now at the ace of aces. Send me dead flowers by the U.S. mail.
This one drops from the sky. The orange sky here in Arizona. Every out so far that Clayton has gotten has been by a strikeout.
2 out. As Shuck goes down on strikes. And here's Emilio Bonifacio.
Oh, I missed an out. I apologize. The 6. It's not a strikeout.
Flowers popped to short. Shuck struck out. And Bonifacio, 1 ball, 1 strike. So 4 strikeouts for Kershaw. Wide of third. Rollins a long throw, and he still has an arm, doesn't he? Past Uribe from the outfield grass. Rollins throws out Bonifacio. 5 in a row retired by Kershaw. Monday, go beyond the dugout and into the Dodgers clubhouse. Join Alana Rizzo. She goes one-on-one with Don Mattingly to get the inside scoop from the Diamond. Don't miss Dodgers clubhouse this Monday at 7 right here on Sportsnet LA. So some positive signs here in the first 2 innings of the ball game. Kershaw has struck out 4. He's retired the last 5 batters. Puig, a 2-run home run. Jimmy Rollins, big strong throw from deep in the hole at short. Grandal singled to left field in his first at-bat. Kendrick and Crawford to follow. Back through the middle. Behind the bag, a perfectly positioned Alexi Ramirez. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 3rd.
If you can make your pitches and throw a big league breaking ball, it's easier to pitch at the big league level sometimes than it is at the AAA or AA level, because now the defenses are positioned so perfectly and the athletes playing behind you are so good. If you're getting the same results as far as what the batters are doing, hitting the ball on the ground, same velocity, these guys are going to catch it. Where in the minor leagues, they might still miss it or be in the wrong place. You got to face tougher hitters up here, but the defense behind you is really good.
And Alexi Ramirez is really one of the solid, underrated shortstops in the game.
We just think about what Jimmy Rollins did in the last inning for Clayton Kershaw right there in the hole. I mean, that's a big league, upper echelon play, and that's not being made a lot of times at AAA, or at least consistently, AA.
Kendrick takes inside. 3 balls and no strikes. Kendrick in his 10th big league season, a career .292 hitter. Last year, 7 home runs, 75 runs batted in. And he takes a 4-pitch walk. Second walk of the game given up by Brad Penny. Crawford coming up. walked and scored in his first at-bat. Dodgers 4 runs and 5 hits. The Sox a run and 2 base hits. There goes Kendrick. Throw down to second base. Out at second base. Kendrick thought, hey, the throw was high, and by the time he tagged me, it had already arrived.
And it looked like Howie for me when he slid. He on purpose got hit the backside down, his shoulders and his head to kind of get away from the high tag. We'll take a look here on the replay. The throw is high, and Howie kind of realized, see how he kind of gets down and kind of turns away from the tag because he knew the ball was going to be high. It looks like it just catches him a little bit. Oh.
1 ball and 1 strike. It's still spring, not to get too torqued about play like that. Into left field, Chuck heading back, and that is 1 hop off the base of the wall. And Carl Crawford goes the other way, and for Crawford, his second double of the spring.
Kind of an Arizona double. Ball carried so well with the backspin, and the sun was tough to play. He didn't get a good read off the bat. I don't think Carl really crushed this ball. He just kind of stays down and one-hands it and slices it. But this ball traveled a long way for the way it was hit.
And Chuck was relatively shallow for the left-handed hitting Crawford. Now Uribe, who has singled and scored a run this afternoon. Strike at the knees. 0-1 to Juan Uribe. Turned 36 earlier in the week.
Yeah, you'd like to see Juan start to string a few hits together here in spring to get the confidence and to kind of settle into his approach.
Into right. That's Garcia. And that is the end of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left after 2.5. Puig with a 2-run home run today. Kershaw on the hill. Dodgers 4-1. Dodgers and Giants tomorrow night at 7 here on Sportsnet LA. Greinke and Heston will be the starters. Finn will be here, and I'll move over to radio along with Rick Monday as we go to the bottom of the 3rd here on this Thursday afternoon. Top of the order for the White Sox, beginning with Micah Johnson, Alexei Ramirez, and Jose Abreu. Kershaw through 2 innings, 29 pitches, 19 for strikes. He's retired the last 5 batters in a row. He has struck out 4. He has walked 1. And Johnson, a speedster, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Second base was up for grabs this spring. And Johnson out of Indianapolis appears to have won the job.
A tough task today, but they say one of the things that helped him win the job was hitting lefties. Good luck today. I think they were talking about human left-handers.
There are lefties, and then there's Kershaw. Johnson spent time at Double and Triple A last year in the White Sox organization. 2-2.
And he'll probably not be in the leadoff hole in the year for the White Sox. That'll probably be Mr. Eaton. Get down in the 9 hole, but they'll hook their speed together, 9-1.
And that's just not fair. That's the 5th strikeout of the game. Micah Johnson looking back as if to say, who was that masked man?
I'm not sure there has been a foul ball on either Clayton's cutter, his slider, or his curveball. The fastball, of course, has been hit, but that was after it was defined that Clayton defined the fact that that's what he was going to mostly throw early in the game. But after he started mixing his pitches, the White Sox hitters have looked lost.
Alexei Ramirez walked in his first at-bat and just gets a piece of it and fouls it back. Mentioned before, Alexei Ramirez is one of those under-the-radar, really solid players. In his 8th big league season, 1 ball and 1 strike. Career .277 hitter. He was a .332 lifetime hitter in Cuba. And Kershaw now seemingly has the White Sox eating out of his hands.
He established the fastball, and now with the breaking stuff, they are so far out in front, and it's just disappearing on him.
Alexei Ramirez last year led all American League shortstops in home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, and extra base hits.
And he is wiry strong. He's not the solid, muscular, strong guy. He's just got a lot of bat speed and some big, strong hands.
6'2" and 180. Among American League shortstops since 2009, so the last 5-6 years. Here's the 2-2. Ramirez fouls it back. He is first American League shortstops now. Hits, RBIs, total bases, games played, extra base hits, doubles, and home runs.
Wow. He is under the radar.
Kershaw on 2-2. Fly ball to left field. That's Crawford at the wall.
He took on the best right there in Clayton Kershaw and gave him a battle. Threw him everything that he had, Clayton did, and finally got him to fly out to left, but that ball was still pretty well hit.
And now Abreu steps in. A single to center in his first at-bat.
This is a fun battle right here. This is 2 of the game's best. You buy a ticket to see this battle.
Abreu, the Rookie of the Year in the American League. Big boy, 6'3", 255 pounds, 28. Played 10 years for Cienfuegos in Cuba, where he had a career .341 average.
It's nosebleed area. That's amazing. I don't care what league you're in.
His teammate at Cienfuegos, Yasiel Puig. 2-2.
Well, Clayton is not wanting him to extend his arms. He and Yasmani are wearing out the inside part of the plate with fastballs in, cutters in. See if he goes with the down and in slider. See if he swings over the top of it. With the high cheese, but still keeping it in there.
So Abreu wears number 79. Now, that's not the most glamorous number. Why does he wear number 79? Wharton Cupid, too. Because his mother told him to. And who's to argue? Three balls and two strikes. Kershaw with 5 strikeouts and a walk so far this afternoon. His 48th pitch. Abreu is 2 for 2.
Well, that's the battle between a great pitcher and a great hitter, and Clayton had a shot or two and missed his pitch, hung a curveball, and had to get back into the 3-2 count. Decided to come back with one of those inside pitches. Didn't quite get it all the way in, probably because he doesn't want to walk him. And Abreu made him pay when the ball caught too much of the plate.
So Abreu has 2 of the 3 White Sox hits. Adam LaRoche steps into the plate. He's got the other. And takes a strike. It's 0-1. A ball and a strike to Adam LaRoche.
At 50 pitches, trying to get one more out to get in the dugout and get 3 in the books for Clayton Kershaw. He'd like to probably go 6. The pitch count's a little high to get there, but he could always bring it down.
High chopper. That's Kendrick from the outfield, grass spinning and throwing him out. Nice play by Howie Kendrick. So a couple of defensive plays turned in by the veterans. Rollins in the last inning and Kendrick here in the bottom of the 3rd. We go to the 4th. Day at Dodger Stadium a week from Monday, and you can still guarantee your seat. Visit Dodger Stadium tomorrow from 9 to 6 for your last chance to receive a Magic Johnson bobblehead with your purchase of an opening day mini plan. We'll also help you plan your next group outing to Dodger Stadium. Visit Dodgers.com/open house. Padres and the Dodgers 1:10 Monday afternoon, April the 6th. Kershaw in his last long outing before that opening day start. He'll have one more just to break a sweat. And in all likelihood, it'll be James Shields, although they haven't announced it yet, starting for San Diego. Here's Ethier. And he takes inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Andre with another hit today is now 14 out of 40. Penny has given up 4 runs and 5 hits. He has struck out 1, walked 2, and it's 2-0 to Ethier. Ethier this spring has choked up a little bit more than he had in the past. Years ago, you may remember, the bottom pinky was wrapped around the knob of the bat, and then on a swing, nothing more than a swing, he broke that pinky and ruined a perfectly good year. In the last couple of years, he rested the meat part of the bottom hand on the bat, and then he would have blister issues, and he would have to tape it up game in and game out. And he takes a 4-pitch walk to begin the 4th.
And any grip change on the bat is a significant move for any hitter. So you could just move a 1/4 of an inch or on or off the end of the knob, and it is a huge change that sends all different kinds of sensations through your body as far as your stance and when you start and how fast the bat is and how the balance of the bat feels in your hands.
Now Kershaw, who sacrificed in his first at-bat, up and away, 1 ball and no strikes. And Mo talks about it all the time. You get a supply of bats, and theoretically they're all the same size and weight, but they feel different in the hand of the hitter. And so they can immediately, whether it's the grain, whatever it may be, it's just different. And if it is, you set it aside and give it to somebody else.
Yeah, the dozen bats, they might find 3 or 4 gamers in there as far as the grain, how hard the bat is that they want. And then where is the moisture in the wood? Is the moisture near the end so it feels different? Is the moisture more in the middle? And so the weighting, it can be the exact weight you asked for and the great length and shape you want. But depending on how the moisture is in the wood and where the weight is, it changes completely. And so those 3 or 4 out of the dozen will become their gamers. Maybe the 3 or 4 others that are close enough, they become their ones they use in BP. And then the ones you talked about, Charlie, the other 3 or 4, they're going to be tossed over to the minor league side or given to a pitcher.
Or autographed for charity.
Exactly.
1-2, Kershaw gets the bunt down again. So Kershaw, 2 successful sacrifices. Ethier goes to second.
Well, the complete player Clayton Kershaw is. We saw it last year with his fielding and the suicide squeeze attempts against him that he dives for, and the way he handles himself at the plate when he swings the bat. And here, of course, as the sacrifice bunter.
I remember talking to you and Nomar on the road. I don't know, it must have been August, early September. I remember raising the possibility, hey, this guy could be the MVP. And you both of you looked at me like I was from another planet. But that was only coincidental. Jimmy Rollins is with bat in hand and got an RBI, a fielder's choice, and struck out. But looking back on the season that was in 2014, Kershaw was the best baseball player in the league who just happened to pitch every 5 days. There was nothing he didn't do exceptionally well last year.
When he is on the field, he is definitely the best player. And the only question I think Nomar and I had at that time was just the fact that he's only out there every 5th day. So you have to be that much significantly better than somebody else. And I really didn't think that there was an everyday player that had that kind of year where they had an MVP year. And so you have a chance to then become the MVP as a pitcher. And Clayton, he pushed the voters over the top.
All that, he missed 5 starts with the back issue.
Yes. I mean, for me, it's kind of the year when a reliever wins the Cy Young. That if there's not a starter that really can be the Cy Young, then a reliever starts to be considered. And I think that's what happened with Clayton. He had one of those unbelievable seasons.
And the only reason he was 7th in strikeouts was because he missed 5 starts.
Exactly.
On 2-1, Rollins takes up and in.
And if he'd got a full year of starts with the way he was throwing the ball last year, the numbers would have been astronomical and historic.
Kershaw so far today, a run and 3 base hits. Rollins rips one foul. Jimmy having a very good spring. But it won't mean a thing on April the 6th and beyond.
And the good part about his spring and others is how healthy and how alive their bodies feel, because we do have some age on the roster in some spots, and you want those guys to not be nursing injuries.
Well hit to right center field. That is one hop off the wall. Rollins on his way to second. He will hold there. In to score is Ethier. For Rollins, his 5th double of the spring, his 3rd RBI, and the Dodgers lead 5-1.
Once a veteran player establishes a track record of how he can produce, and he has done it for, let's say, more than 3 years, general managers and managers get real confident no matter how they look in spring training if they are healthy. Health will determine that they will return to their track record, and Jimmy Rollins right now looks very, very good.
And so does Yasiel Puig, who homered yesterday and homered again today. Puig now with 5 home runs and 12 runs batted in. Takes a strike, and it's 0-1.
The competition can't get significantly better. The ballparks don't significantly change. The travel doesn't get harder. The food doesn't get worse. So if you are healthy as a veteran, there's a lot of confidence that you're going to return to your form.
But if you're having a lousy spring, the food gets worse.
It doesn't taste quite as good.
Puig in the 2nd inning.
I love the balance, Charlie. I love the fact that it was an off-speed pitch, and you see them, everything is still stacked when he makes contact. He's out in front, yes, a little bit with the timing, but the body and the swing are strong and in balance.
One ball and 2 strikes.
Still grinding away, and you love the mental toughness that he's starting to show, that he's holding himself accountable even to the swings and the foul balls, and now you see the focus.
0-2 with 1 out, 1 in, top of the 4th. Rollins is knocked in 2. Puig a 2-run home run. Ethier a hit and an RBI. And Puig strikes out swinging. Second strikeout for Penny. And that brings up Adrian Gonzalez with 2 gone. So Brad Penny hoping to hang on, and if not with the White Sox, find employment elsewhere. Gonzalez is single to left, bounce to first. He swings and misses, and it's 0-1. Brad Penny hoping to make it to his 14th big league season. Began briefly in Florida in 2000. And part of the World Series championship Marlins team with former Dodger Josh Beckett among others. In 2003 when he won 14 games. Over the course of his career, 20 games over 500. In 2006 with the Dodgers, Penny was 16-9. In 2007, even better than that, 16-4. And Adrian Gonzalez, who knocked in 116 runs last year, knocks home Jimmy Rollins' second run of the fourth, and the Dodgers lead 6-1. And for Gonzalez, his 7th RBI of the spring.
The sweet swing of Agon. It is in midseason form. Balance and rhythm. Just stays down and through. And that ball is low, almost below his kneecap, but he's able to stay down and through and lift it into the air and hit a line drive.
Watching him over the years, one thing about Adrian Gonzalez, bat in his hand or out in the field, there is no wasted motion. He is so efficient in what he does, swinging a bat, making a play, even making a throw.
He's very graceful. And because of that, and he's got such great body control and athleticism.
Led everybody in runs batted in last year. And Grandal with a fly ball to left. That is Shuck at the wall, and he will track it down. So Grandal gave it a grand ride. Came up a bit short, but the Dodgers come up with a run. 2 hits, leave 1 after 3.5. 6-1 for Kershaw and the Dodgers. Well, take it for what it's worth. The Dodgers at 12-6-6 so far this spring. Have more home runs than anybody else, 38. And lead the White Sox 6-1 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. And Clayton Kershaw on the hill to this point has struck out 5 and walked 1. The Dodgers, of course, last 5 years haven't had a winning record in spring, which means so what? Exactly. 94 wins last year, 92 the year before. They're just getting ready for the marathon that is a 162-game season in 183 days.
So much of their record changing this year and being such a dominant winning record has been for all the kids that are knocking on the door now, that are maturing, that are playing in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. And they're finishing off the games or coming back in games. They're taking ties and turning them into wins. And that's a great sign for the long-term plan of the Dodgers.
Well, it would appear as if Peterson is going to be the center fielder. Garcia fouls it into the Dodger dugout. And then, of course, you've got Seager, who isn't at all far away. Watch Scott Schebler mature over the past year. The 1-2. Garcia takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Mr. Sweeney has looked very good.
He's terrific. Switch hitter. Center fielder, second baseman. He can hit. The 2-2. Yasvel Garcia with Connor Gillespie on deck and Tyler Flowers to follow.
And of course, somebody even like Alex Guerrero has played late in games a lot, has really shown well.
Swung on and missed strike 3.
And he could end up on the team as one of the backups on the bench, sitting alongside maybe somebody like Justin Turner.
Well, there are only so many seats, and that's going to be the issue. Kershaw, meanwhile, has struck out 6.
I'm sure there is going to be some debate and some open discussion when the Dodger brass and coaching staff continue to meet till the end of spring to talk about the configuration of the roster. And when you have this many tough decisions as far as the bullpen is concerned, as far as the bench is concerned, a lot of times the decisions are come down to how many people can we keep within the whole organization, not just on the 25-man roster.
So Don Mattingly, becoming accustomed for him to wear that towel over his head. Not a bad idea in the hot desert sun. To second base on a third hop. Kendrick throws out Gillespie, 2 out. Well, you and I had a chance to spend a little time with Brandon League today. He's never had a shoulder issue before. He said it felt better today than it had the previous couple of days. He's going to have it looked at tomorrow. But the mathematics would suggest he's going to start the season on the disabled list. And Ryu on the DL. Flowers takes outside. So they have a starter to worry about the 13th of April, and that would be in the Mariners series at Dodger Stadium. And then the 23rd would be the next time around in San Francisco. To center field, Ethier makes the play. Another easy inning for Kershaw. Will go to the 5th, and the Dodgers lead 6-1. New pitcher for the White Sox, Zach Putnam. And the Dodgers open the 2015 season against the Padres a week from Monday. Want to guarantee tickets to this sold-out event? Purchase a 2015 mini plan. This includes opening day, all 10 bobbleheads, and many more great promotions. Visit Dodgers.com/mini plans. And a new pitcher for the White Sox. It's Zach Putnam. Last year, 49 appearances all out of the pen, an ERA of under 2, and opponents barely hit 200 against him. 6'2", 2 1/4. Lives in Ann Arbor. In 2008, he was a fifth-round pick of the Indians. And briefly with Colorado, Cubs, and the White Sox. Well, the White Sox bullpen was just dreadful last year, so they went out and worked hard to beef it up. The big free agent signing, of course, was getting David Robertson, who had the difficult task of following in the footsteps of Mariano Rivera, but made the most of it. And that enabled him to parlay a big deal from the White Sox.
Now they added Zach Duke and Dan Jennings down there in their bullpen also to bring some left-handed specialty down there.
So the White Sox made a lot of moves. They knew they had to. They had been struggling. Kendrick into short right and a base hit.
They have about 7 new faces that really made a big-time remake, and they're trying to also remake their team and get it to be one of the faster teams the White Sox have ever had. And they're really excited about improving their on-base percentage at the top of the order in front of the now stellar bat of Abreu, thinking they can turn his 100-plus RBIs closer to the 120 to 130 mark if they can get a couple guys on in front of him.
Robin Ventura, 4 years into his managerial career, was one of the all-time great college baseball players. Oklahoma State.
One of the all-time great guys, too.
Absolutely.
What a sense of humor. I got to spend a year with him as a New York Met teammate.
Remember that play at the plate where Ventura grotesquely broke his ankle years ago. He would always say, well, it didn't slow me up that much.
One of the best at coming in from third base and making the wrong foot play where he would dive and land on his stomach, going all out to make the play.
Deep to right, but foul, and also was great at picking up that barehanded roller. He was just a great all-around player. "16 seasons with the White Sox, Mets, Yankees, and the Dodgers." One ball, one strike. Crawford a double, a walk, and a run scored. Takes a strike. It's 1-2.
He was tongue-in-cheek when they asked him to even come to interview for the managing job. He said, "Are you kidding me?" he said. And then when he got it, he goes, "Are you sure?"
A laid-back Southern Californian, 6-time Gold Glove winner. Crawford slaps it foul.
Infamous grand slam single in his career in the playoffs for the Mets when
Called that one.
Todd Pratt tackled him between first and second after the ball left the park. He didn't get to circle the bases. So the ball that left the park got called a single.
The grand slam single. Crawford down on strikes. That was a game in the driving rain. It was a heavy rain for about 3 hours.
And when it was clear that night, it was misting.
Yeah.
It
improved to mist.
Other than that, it was raining.
But they had to play.
Exactly.
And that's what made that game so memorable. The drama of the moment, having to deal with the elements.
It was one of my most magical and memorable nights in baseball. I pitched in relief and did well. My son Jordan, who is now trying to make a Double-A team here with the Dodgers, was the bat boy for the Mets that day. I came out because the game was so important and so special, came back out and helped him bat boy. So I'm sitting where the bat boys sit on the stools, and Jordan is there. I'm next to Dave Wallace, who was a huge impact and the pitching coach of the Mets on my Dodger career and throughout my career. And behind me is Sandy Koufax in the first row in Fred Wilpons' box.
Not bad.
It was, and then to help Jordan Batboy and watch Robin hit the grand slam single. It was quite a night.
Uribe takes under the knees, 2 balls and no strikes. I was about to say that was back when the Mets were pretty good, which is about accurate. Two and 0 to Uribe, who has singled, scored a run, and fly to right. Dodgers 6-1 with 1 out, 1 on in the 5th. Uribe comes up empty.
That was the year that Bobby Valentine got kicked out of a game and got caught on the Met dugout, the TV with the Groucho Marx glasses and mustache.
I did that game too. I'm thinking, that sure looks like Bobby with a mustache.
I was trying to talk him out of it. I was back there when he was thinking about, I'm going to go back out there. I'm so mad. I still belong on that bench.
I'll show him.
Look at these. They won't recognize. I'm sorry. Skip, are you serious? Don't do it.
And our ESPN camera, it was like there was a magnet. Like, whoop. Oh, this is going to be good. 2-1 with 1 out. Putnam on in relief of Penny. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. And like a wet bar of soap, the ball slips out of the hand of Tyler Flowers, and Kendrick has a stolen base.
How he tried earlier, and he was out by a nose. He got tagged on the upper part of his shoulder. He thought he actually beat it. The throw was high. This one, another good jump, and really showing that his legs are feeling good.
Kendrick is 31. Rollins is 36. 2-2 to Uribe. Ethier is on deck. And Uribe foul tips it into the glove of Flowers. 2 out. And Andre Ethier, one of the more interesting stories of the spring for the Dodgers, certainly coming in. Would there be a room at the inn for him? And if so, how would that work itself out? If not, how would he hit? What would other teams see in Ethier? Well, they have seen over the past week to 10 days, Ethier, a throwback to 4 or 5 years ago. He's got a single, walk, RBI, 2 runs scored today. 9 runs batted in on the season. Preseason at that. 1 ball, no strikes.
An interesting battle here for scouts to watch, Andre. And you got a big league middleman, late inning pitcher on the mound, right-handed with a good split finger. Andre swinging the bat well. If he's a starter on another club, if somebody's looking at that, or a 4th outfielder, this would be a matchup that he would get, either as a pinch hitter or later in the game. These are the things, the details and the levels of thinking that the scouts and the GMs are thinking about as they watch all the players in these spring training games.
And Andre more than capable of playing any of the 3 outfield spots. He swings and misses, and it's 2-1. In 2009, Ethier hit .272 with 31 home runs and 106 runs batted in. 2008, 20 home runs, 77 RBIs, and hit .305. The 3-1 into center field. And that's going to be tracked down by Bonifacio. Even though it's an out, it was a loud out off the bat of Andre Ethier. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left after 4.5. Dodgers 6-1. As we head to the home half of the fifth, the idea for Clayton Kershaw was to throw about 90, 95 pitches today. Through 4, he has thrown 61, 39 for strikes, and he has struck out 6, walked 1. A little shaky in the first inning. After that, it's been fairly routine for him.
Yeah, in the first inning, too, it was a lot of exercise. Just let's go with the fastball for the first 15, 20 pitches, and all of a sudden they were queuing into that idea, and once he started breaking out the breaking ball, it was a little different match.
J.B. Shuck struck out swinging in his first at-bat. One around, according to third base umpire Chad Whitson. Oh, that's Kerwin Danley. Kerwin Danley went to San Diego State. Baseball player there. Teammate, Tony Gwynn. Kerwin out of Los Angeles.
Just the beginnings of a good umpire, somebody who used to play and understands the emotion of the game and how it's played at a higher level. And to go to the umpire schools and to battle your way all the way up, just like a player, to the big leagues.
On 1-2, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now, if memory serves, 6-7 years ago, Kerwin Danley was calling balls and strikes at Dodger Stadium. Brad Penny was on the hill. He threw a fastball over the glove of Russell Martin, and it caught Danley flush on the mask, knocked him cold.
Wow.
He would be helped off the field and miss a few weeks with a concussion. And I believe it was Brad Penny who was the pitcher. On 3-2 to the right side. And Kershaw just does get there. So the 4-time Gold Glove winner, Adrian Gonzalez, with the short hop, a difficult play. Kershaw, the great athlete, sprinting over to first base to make the play, and that's the first out of the 5th.
You are so right on both ends of this play. It's outstanding. Adrian Gonzalez, Kershaw falling off to the third base side. He's got to bust it to get the fast runner and beat him there to the bag. Takes the direct route to first base. Adrian Gonzalez with the soft hands and the great flip gets him the ball early. Clayton in time to get the foot on the bat.
And the scouting report on J.B. Shuck is that he is a well above average speedster. And so it had to be a flawless play on both ends by Gonzalez and Kershaw to get him. Emilio Bonifacio fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Micah Johnson is on deck. Dodgers with 4 in the second and 2 in the fourth. The White Sox, their only run of the game in the first. Just joining us, Puig, a 2-run home run. Rollins is knocked in 2. Gonzalez an RBI. Ethier 1 for 2, 2 runs scored and a run batted in. And 2 hits for Adrian Gonzalez. Dress rehearsals come to an end on Saturday the 4th. Dodger Stadium and the Angels. And then the curtain opens on Monday the 6th. With this guy pitching. Who else? Seven strikeouts for Kershaw.
When he has that outside lane to right-handed hitters, it's going to be a long day for the opposing lineup. He pitches righties in with cutters and sliders and fastballs. But when he gets that outside lane going, and they've got to protect both sides of the plate, that's what you get right there. You get a look like it's not fair.
And a Carl's Cam replay, for goodness sakes. Micah Johnson takes a strike. That is 0-1.
Carl's Cam has got a shot to have a lot of Kershaw on it this year.
Well, at least every 5th day.
Mm-hmm.
Johnson has struck out twice And this time he grounds to second base. He is a very fast runner, so Kendrick had to pick it up and throw him out in a hurry, and he did. Nothing across. We go to the 6th. And Clayton will lead it off, to be followed by Rollins and Puig. The Dodgers lead by 5. So Clayton Kershaw will lead it off for the Dodgers in the 6th. He's got a 5-run lead. He has struck out 7 and walked only 1. And to this point, 78 pitches, 50 for strikes. And this is the White Sox 3rd pitcher of the day, Daniel Webb, proud patron of Paducah, Kentucky. Last year, 57 appearances, a .399 earned run average. So he's got about a year and a half in the bigs.
His control is the issue, Charlie. He's a guy that has closer stuff, and they're just looking for him to improve his consistency, because the arm is there, the stuff is there, but the control might send him back to the minors or keep him in a role where he doesn't have the significance.
Came over from the Blue Jays a few years back for Jason Frazier. And Kershaw, for the first time today, not being called upon to sacrifice. He did twice successfully.
Got to get it started early against this guy. He throws hard.
Kershaw on 0-2 takes high and away, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
A pitcher on an 0-2 count with a fastball high and away from a hard-throwing righty that takes it like he's a hitter.
Two and 2. Saw Clayton yesterday in the hallway and had a plate full of breakfast. I said, well, how's your face feeling? Because he had a bunch of stitches in there above and beyond having a tooth removed and a crown. He said, I'm still eating on just one side. And he hits to one side to left field for a base hit. So every Dodger has at least a hit today.
Let's have a replay of that, Truck. Take a look at a pitcher that battles from an 0-2 count all the way back, shortens up with 2 strikes, just trying to put the ball in play, get the foot down, and just slap it to left. I don't think we can even qualify him as a pitcher when he gets into the batter's box.
Rollins, a double, a run scored, 2 RBIs today, 1 for 3. Swings and misses, and it's 0-1. One ball and one strike to Jimmy Rollins. 14 for 44 this spring. Takes inside, 2-1. Puig on deck. Three and one. Jimmy hit for 243 last year in Philadelphia, and there's a fly ball to right field. It is way back. It's on its way, and it is gone. A two-run home run for Jimmy Rollins. First home run of the spring. Fourth RBI of the day. And the Dodgers lead 8-1.
Jimmy has shown his legs lately with a triple the other day. He's showing his power right there. He showed his defense earlier with the ball in the hole. He's getting real ready and ripe for the regular season.
17 home runs last season for the Phillies. In 2007, his big year. 30 home runs and 94 runs batted in. Second home run of the day for the Dodgers. We hit the first, a two-run shot in the second. No balls, two strikes. So the Dodgers now with 39 home runs this spring. The Cubs are the only team with as many as 30. Lorenzo Bundy gets out of the way wisely.
Make sure you swing this one over your head.
The very well-respected, venerable third base coach Lorenzo Bundy. He's out of Philadelphia. Where he takes low and outside.
You know, with Jimmy Rollins, you talk about aging players and, you know, what are we going to get? Well, he was one of four guys that had at least 15 home runs and at least 25 stolen bases. So the combination of speed and power is still there in that body. And that's something to look forward to this season.
36.
And a team leader, great chemistry clubhouse guy, articulate, that can really express what's going on and let us inside the game.
Puig bounces to second. First out of the sixth. Adrian Gonzalez coming up. Dodger bullpen remains quiet. Kershaw will pitch the sixth. And a call strike to Gonzalez. It's 0-1. Adrian is 2 for 3. An RBI, now has 2 home runs and 7 runs batted in. Daniel Webb, the third White Sox pitcher. Gonzalez frustrated with himself, swinging at that pitch.
He'd been fighting something all day. Looking at that look of disgust right there. We've seen it multiple times today and during at bats.
He's 2 for 3. We should all struggle like that.
Exactly.
But down on strikes. Second out of the sixth. Yasmani Grandal coming up. Grandal 1 for 3 in his last at-bat. He sent J.B. Shuck all the way back to the wall and left in front of the Dodger bullpen.
Don't stare on your pop fly this time.
Off to the left and out of play. This is the second game in which Grandal has caught for Adrian Gonzalez, for Clayton Kershaw.
And this one much better than the last, where Clayton's comments after the one where they were paired up together before was, he couldn't make me hit the target. He'd put down the right numbers and the right target. I just didn't hit it.
Grandal, born in Havana, came over when he was about 10 years old or so, and so he was acclimated to the American culture in Miami. Graduated high school there. In Yonder Alonso, their career paths, they traveled on the same road. And Yonder Alonso, the starting first baseman now in San Diego. So Grandal with the walk. Now Harry Kendrick, who's had a pretty good day, a hit, a walk, a stolen base, and has bounced out. So the old fellas at second base and short have had good afternoons, Kendrick and Rollins. Kendrick pats Tyler Flowers on the back as if to say, okay, no problem.
And that's what we talked about. Daniel Webb has really got to work on his command. He's got the arm to be a closer, but these kind of missiles right here are not what help you earn jobs.
Right on the elbow.
Yep.
Now Carl Crawford with Grandal at second and Kendrick at first. Dodgers with an 8-1 lead. And Crawford 1-1. Zach Greinke goes tomorrow. Tomorrow night, in fact. 7 o'clock game time. Vin will be here. Greinke and Chris Heston with the Giants in Glendale. Two and one and 2 out. Crawford a walk, a double, strikeout, and a run scored. Two balls and 2 strikes. Uribe is on deck.
I think he got him again, but he didn't. Carl got out of the way. Skip rope right here.
So Grandal from second and Kendrick from first will get a head start with a full count and 2 out. Ball strike 3, and that'll end the inning. Webb strikes out 2. Gives up a 2-run home run to Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy's first home run of the spring, and big day for Rollins. He's got 4 runs batted in. Half of the Dodger total of 8-1 over the White Sox. Well, probably the last inning of work for Clayton Kershaw. They, Don Mattingly and Rick Honeycutt, saying 90 to 95 pitches for Kershaw on this Thursday afternoon, and through 5 he has thrown 74, 47 for strikes. He has struck out 7, he has walked 1 and given up 1 run and 3 base hits. So what have your impressions been of Kershaw's performance today?
Mid-season form. You know, I think the only blemish came in the first inning when he was throwing all fastballs. He really wasn't pitching yet. I think he has at times had the amazing curveball. A few of them have slipped out because of maybe the Arizona weather here. Something he'll have to battle a little bit in the regular season when he's in Colorado and in Arizona.
Alexi Ramirez, high chopper to first. Underhanded flip to Kershaw covering. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th.
He's dominated the inside portion of the plate to right-handers, and he's shown that he can attack the outside portion of the plate to right-handers. So that is a nice sign. And I think he'll be pretty satisfied with his work, especially gets through this inning clean. And you might even see him, if he has a very short pitch count inning here, come out for another one.
2 outfield outs all day for the White Sox. 3 hits, 2 of them from this guy, Jose Abreu, the Rookie of the Year last year. Abreu is now 20 for 42. Pretty near 500. In the hole. Rollins can't make it cleanly. That'll go as an infield hit. So 3 of the 4 hits for the White Sox by Abreu.
And this is not an error, and this is not bad hands by Jimmy Rollins. He realizes as far as he has to run for this, as quick as he's going to have to be in the exchange. So he is working towards the exchange with his feet and with his hands there. And because he's on the edge of all the abilities it's going to take to throw Abreu out, the clank.
Giovanni Soto is the hitter. Adam LaRoche had been the DH and finished the day 1 for 2. Carlos Sanchez. Let me correct, that's Danny Hayes. Pinch running for Abreu. Kershaw misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. Soto came up with the Cubs in 2005, had 1 at bat, but in 2006 hit .272. From the Cubs to the Rangers, 14 games with Oakland last year. From Puerto Rico. Rookie of the Year in 2008. There you go. Into center field. Ethier makes the play. Soto's retired. Rafael Garcia. 0 for 2, and he's been struck out twice by Kershaw.
Two out, man on first. You want to hold him close. Clayton Kershaw with 48 career pickoffs. second among active pitchers, only to longtime White Sox Mark Burley, who has 99.
One of the weaknesses in Kershaw's game when he first came up was his inability to hold runners, because in high school and the travel teams that he played on, there's nobody on base against him.
Yeah.
So once he learned the art of the pickoff move, he became one of the best in the game.
And that was a good thing about the early inning when he was just throwing fastballs and the White Sox were putting a few guys on, that he got a chance to pitch from the stretch and pitch in traffic. You don't want that shock to your system. If you breeze through spring training, you've been in your windup most of the time, you don't get to throw many pitches in competition from the stretch, and all of a sudden the regular season starts and you get a blip on the screen and you're in a jam and you're slightly uncomfortable because you don't have enough reps.
So you're telling Kershaw to go out and play in traffic?
Yeah.
Watch yourself, young man. Perhaps you heard the press box PA. 7,650 watching this Thursday matinee at Camelback Ranch.
It's a nice 1-2 breaking ball right there, instead of that one that pops out of his hand and spins too high and he starts chastising himself right there. He made sure he got it down, and that's a good miss in that count.
White Sox took a 1-0 lead in the first. The Dodgers had 4 in the second, and the Sox have been in the Dodgers' rearview mirror ever since. Thank you and good night. Third time Garcia's been struck out this afternoon. That's 8 strikeouts for Kershaw. We go to the 7th, and the Dodgers lead 8-1. Tonight on Backstage Dodgers, we go behind the scenes as Kenley Jansen works his way back from foot surgery. Plus, bench coach Tim Wallach gets mic'd up. Don't miss an all-new Backstage Dodgers tonight at 7, right here on Sportsnet LA. So Kershaw and Rick Honeycutt in conference. The Dodger bullpen for the moment remains quiet. New pitcher for the White Sox, Jairo Asensio, came up with the Braves and cups of coffee in Cleveland. The White Sox and the Orioles, 6'2", 180, 31 years of age. Asensio pitched in Korea last year for the Kia Tigers. And Uribe, 1 ball and 1 strike. Uribe 1 for 3 and a run scored. Just got under it and fouls it off to the left. Joel Peralta is beginning to work in the Dodger bullpen. Two and two. On 2 and 2 to Uribe. Just high. White Sox with a couple of defensive changes above and beyond Asensio. New first baseman Danny Hayes, who pinch ran for Jose Abreu in the 6th. Now the 3-2. Barely staying alive is Uribe. And a new right fielder, Engel Beltre. There he is.
Figuratively a home game for both teams, so a full quiver of replacements for both sides.
A quiver. Well, a lot of guys available.
That too. Can't sneak anything by you.
The Dodger blew by you. The 3-2, Uribe to short. And a strike from Ramirez. Now Andre Ethier's had another good day.
Now you mentioned the out he made in his last at bat, but it was a loud one. It was against a big league reliever, and he really blistered the ball to center field. 15 feet either way. He's probably going to get into the gap.
Last week to 10 days, he has really turned it up a notch. And a strike, 0-1.
Well, there's a lot to like in the production, of course, but the stats are not lying about him swinging the bat better. Better balance, better bat control, squaring up a lot more balls, really having good takes and good, solid professional at-bats.
A lot of English on that play, and Asensio at the receiving end from Danny Hayes, 2 out. Well, Clayton Kershaw's day is done. Jock Peterson will pinch hit for him. And yesterday in the 4th inning, got it all.
The power supply put on by the Dodgers all day yesterday, and Jock was part of that parade. The young man has had a fantastic spring training, and any question marks surrounding him and being the center fielder are really getting pushed to the side.
The most newsworthy part of Peterson this spring has been there's been no news. He's just gone about his business, played well, takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Big rip, fouls it back.
You know, it's not fair when a young man just gets to the big leagues in September to all of a sudden start coaching him, and I'm sure Mark McGuire left him alone a lot of observations. But then when you have a whole off season and you've got spring training and reps here, a lot more exchange of ideas going on between himself and veteran players and the coaching staff, and you can really see it start to take shape.
Nice timing, Earl.
Oh. You got to set him up so he can make it look.
Set him up to knock him down. Oh, the media. They get you every time. 7th inning stretch. Dodgers 8-1. New pitcher for the Dodgers as we go to the other half of the 7th inning stretch. Joel Peralta making his 5th appearance of the spring. 2 runs and 3 hits in 4 innings. He has struck out 4 and walked 1. Came over from the Rays along with Adam Lipitor. And the Dodgers have made a bunch of changes, which we will attend to in just a moment. But Peralta is, according to Don Mattingly, within the past week, said he and J.P. Howell are assured of spots in the bullpen. After that, everybody is auditioning. Scott Van Slyke takes over at first base for the Dodgers. They've made a bunch of other moves, and we'll get to those in a moment. Peralta misses high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes to Connor Gillespie. Gillespie today against Kershaw, 0 for 2. So how did Clayton do today? A run, 4 hits in 6 innings. Struck out 8, walked 1. 88 pitches, 55 for strikes. They said they wanted to give him 90, 95 pitches. 88 and 55. And as if he hasn't done enough work today.
They'll stretch it out. You always want to stretch out when you're pushing your pitch count and your last time you're going to get up. Rick Honeycutt and the staff, they love the fact of let's do the last inning in the bullpen so you control all the workload and the intensity. And the pitcher can also then get 10 to 15, 20 pitches, maybe working on something that he didn't like what he was doing, and then take it to the house, get a good night's rest.
Two balls and 1 strike. So Peralta, a veteran presence out of the bullpen. Turned 39 3 days ago. Peralta came up with the Angels in 2005, then to the Royals and the Rockies and the Nationals and the Rays. Well hit to right field. And it is a foul ball, and so Peralta can exhale.
Joel has always been a guy on the mound that's had a presence, not intimidated by any situation, will attack you. And he will bring a lot of personality down there to the Dodger bullpen, and some veteran leadership also.
He's essentially filling the role that Jamie Wright occupied for the Dodgers 2 of the last 3 years. Into short right field, where Chris Heisey makes the basket catch. Heisey taking over for Yasiel Puig. Well, we're almost caught up on all the changes. Jacob Scavuzzo is in left field. Peter Lavin is in center. And Chris Heisey is in right. Scott Van Slyke now at first base. Nate Sampson at second. Darwin Barney is at short. And Buck Britton is at third. Grandal still behind the plate. And Tyler Flowers is the batter. He's 0 for 2. Into left field, and Scavuzzo cannot get it. Flowers will hold at second base.
Scavuzzo made a nice effort on that ball. This ball wasn't hit particularly hard. Joel just gets it up a little bit, jams him, now he gets it off the end of the bat. You see disgusted Flowers is as far as how he hit it, but he just hit it in the right place. This ball seemed to work away from Scavuzzo and just out of his reach with a fine effort. Can make that dive in left field. You don't want to make that dive probably in right field, because then it turns into a triple. But in left field, being closer to third base, you can risk that.
Especially with a 7-run lead.
Exactly. And trying to impress people out there with your defensive skills.
J.B. Shuck looking to hang on with the White Sox. And he bounces a base hit into center field. And Christian Marrero, the pinch runner, comes around to score. And that makes it 8-2. Emilio Bonifacio coming up. So Peralta, after getting Gillespie to fly to right, has given up 2 hits in a row, and Bonifacio fouls it off. It's 0-1. Bonifacio came up with the Diamondbacks and to the Nationals, Marlins, Blue Jays, Royals, Cubs, Braves. He's at the point of his career where he can be described as much travel.
And pretty much will be an insurance policy at third base and second base. A guy who's very versatile, switch hitter, so depending on who's starting against the White Sox, might be slipped in there.
Connor Gillespie is slated to start at third base. Here's the 0-2. Popped up in the center of the diamond. Darwin Barney takes charge. Two out, and Micah Johnson. He, for one, is happy that Kershaw's day is done. Struck out twice and bounced weakly to second base.
We said earlier how Micah Johnson has probably won the job at second base, probably batting the 9-hole for the Sox, and did that because of doing so well also against left-handed starters and pitchers. But today Clayton really took him to school.
And left him there.
Which he has done with a lot of left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters, or anybody who just wants to hold a bat and stand in the batter's box.
For years, the White Sox thought that Gordon Beckham was going to be their second baseman. Never did work out. When he left, he's come back, but they appear to have settled in on Micah Johnson, who is a very fast runner, on top of being a solid defender. While 0 for 3 today, he is 15 for 40 this spring.
And when Micah will slide down into the 9-hole, the guy who will go up into the 2-hole after Eaton will be Melky Cabrera.
And that's an area where the White Sox have had trouble the last several years. They haven't had anybody batting in the 2 spot with an on-base percentage of much over 300. And so if the guys in the middle of the order have nobody to knock in, thus the White Sox had offensive problems. Last year, 73 and 89.
Your pitch now.
But they went out and made a boatload of changes. Van Slyke can't get it, and Micah Johnson, we told you how fast he is. Easily beats the throw. Nate Sampson is the new Dodgers second baseman.
This ball just deflects, doesn't get there, and then that ball slowing down like that, there's just no way that they're going to be able to throw him out with his legs. And Slyke does a nice job getting back, but no chance at Johnson.
So Rick Honeycutt's going to go out and have a chat with Peralta. An error on Van Slyke. E3.
And the conversation with Rick is, come on, we got a lightly hit ball to left field. Just happens to be in the right place. You got a ground ball up the middle that just found a hole. We got another one that probably should have been an out. We're just unfortunate we didn't get one. You just keep battling out here. I'm here to give you a little bit of a blow. Let's just settle into the inning and get us in the dugout.
Let's go, Lexi!
Alexi Ramirez. 0 for 2, a walk and a run scored today, and takes a strike. It's 0-1.
That arm was broken.
Over the last 5 years, dating back to 2010, the White Sox won 88. In 2011, they dropped to 79 wins, 85 in 2012. 2013, a bust, winning but 63. And they improved their win total by 10. Last year was still 16 games under 500. So they made a lot of moves. Oh, and 2 to Ramirez. Up the middle into center field for a base hit. Chuck comes around to score, makes it 8-3.
Now you start watching Yoel's pitch count at 23. You might want to extend him today, but you don't want to extend it all in one inning.
Let's earn that A on the back of your jersey.
Of course, this is a White Sox team for the first time in forever that Paul Konerko not around anymore.
He was originally a Dodger, right?
Mm-hmm. Danny Hayes is the batter. And a pinch hitter over at first base. Julius Rondon. So out with the old with the White Sox. Konerko and Lindstrom. Semien. In with the new. Into right field is Heisey. Bonifacio, Brantley, Cabrera, Duke, Jennings, LaRoche, Robertson, and Samardzija. So the White Sox looking to turn it around in 2015. As we go to the 8th, Dodgers 8-3. And a reminder, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Where the millions of subscribers watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. Eric Surkamp is the new pitcher for the White Sox. 35 appearances, middle reliever. An ERA of just under 5, and opposing hitters hit .244 against him. White Sox made a bunch of defensive changes, and we can hardly wait to get to all of them. Darwin Barney leading it off for the Dodgers. Took over for Jimmy Rollins. And Jimmy, quite a day. 2 for 4, home run, double, 4 runs batted in.
He shined with the glove, with the defensive gem in the hole. He shined with the bat, with the power, and he also shined with the bat with just a routine ground ball that got him an RBI.
Barney takes a strike, 1-1. Chris Heisey is on deck. So 2 more home runs for the murderer's row known as the Dodgers. 39 home runs this spring, more than any other club in the majors, by a lot. Puig a 2-run shot in the 2nd, and Rollins a 2-run shot in the 6th. And Barney into left center field. That's Jacob May running it down. Of course, Adam Eaton is going to be the White Sox starting center fielder this year. And here's Chris Heisey. He has had a difficult time finding hits. 2 for 31. Taking inside. But in his years with the Reds, a dependable fourth outfielder, good speed, outstanding defender, and a good pinch hitter. But really hasn't hit a lick this spring.
Let's go, Kobe.
1-2.
And if he was a guy without options, without the ability to send him down to the minors, that you'd probably throw the spring training stats out the window. But now it opens it up for a question. Do you want to give him some time down there to get his act together if it doesn't start to come around here in the next 10 days?
Well, the reality is you got Ethier, who's probably in front of him. Guerrero, who's probably in front of him. And that's not to say either Guerrero or Ethier are going to be here on opening day.
Well, we've seen the new front office turn complicated things into simply wonderful results as they've built the roster. So what, about a 48-hour period there in the winter meetings that all of a sudden it was just completely different scenarios? I couldn't have kept it all straight. The way they were moving and shaking pieces.
Of the 40-man roster, I think 19 are new. On 2-2, Surkamp. And Heisey. You know,
what happened to him the other day? He hit a ball hard, got nothing.
If he didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all.
It seems like the great defensive plays are made against the guys that are just searching for any kind of good luck for a hit. Two nice snags out there in center field, but Chris Heisey's back at the bench. He is shaking his head and he is hustling and doing his best, but it's not coming out real well for him right now.
Van Slyke's first at bat of the day. Batting in the 2 spot where Puig was earlier. Puig a 2-run home run, his second home run in as many days. Puig has gotten himself locked in here in the past week. So Van Slyke, 2 out of 4. Or at least Gonzalez was. And Scott is batting his spot.
Don't worry, he won't call this one a strike. Don't swing. Give it to him.
2 out, top of the 8th. White Sox took a 1-0 lead in the first. The Dodgers came up with 4 in the second. Kershaw 6 innings, a run and 4 hits, 88 pitches, 55 for strikes, 8 strikeouts and a walk. Van Slyke fouls it away.
And Scotty Van Slyke looks like he's ready. He doesn't really look like he needs another 10 days, so it'll be just kind of maintaining. He's taking pitches very well. Looks very composed in the box, not searching for anything.
Down on strikes. So Surkamp comes in and retires the Dodgers in order, striking out Van Slyke to end the top of the 8th. Dodgers lead 8-3. Runs and 4 hits in 6 2/3. That's a 2.7 ERA. Baez has struck out 7 and hasn't walked anybody. New catcher for the Dodgers will be Ali Solis.
Well, Pedro Baez looking to keep his name in the mix for the bullpen. Strong throwing right-hander that Dodger fans have seen a little bit of. Pitched in Albuquerque and Chattanooga last year and also in LA. Just continue to work on his consistency. The arm and the stuff is there. Just keep the location going.
He can bring it. Well, that's one thing about the Dodgers in the bullpen, and here it is, it's the 26th of March, so you always kind of put that into perspective. Some of the young fellas have really distinguished themselves. Baez being one.
Yimi Garcia throwing the ball well yesterday.
Paco Rodriguez is back to the Paco Rodriguez of a couple of years ago, again in spring.
Very impressed with his breaking ball yesterday, late and sharp.
So Garcia, Paco. And here's Baez. J.P. Howell is rounding into form. Adam Liberatore has been a very interesting burly left-hander, came from Tampa Bay. Baez on 1-1 to Giovanni Soto. 2 balls and a strike. Soto, Rookie of the Year with the Cubs. In 2008. It turned out that was about the best year of his career. But he's a catcher with some pop, good throwing arm. 6'1", 220. Now 32. Baez walks his first batter. That's the first batter he's walked this spring.
Yeah, he's really shown great command and attacking the strike zone this spring. You know, that's something that he, throughout his career, has not battled at all. He's been pretty solid with his strikeout to walk ratio throughout his career as he's moved up the chain. That'll shake him a little bit. Want to get right back in the strike zone right here.
Engel Beltre is the batter. And a pinch runner at first base. Drew Garcia. Beltre takes high, 1 ball and no strikes. Tomorrow night, the Dodgers and the Giants here in Glendale. Be on the air at 7, and Vin will be on the air with you. Gordon Beckham is on deck. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
You get to this point in spring for a young fellow thinking I'm in the mix to possibly be in the Dodger bullpen on the opening day roster. You've got to have that kind of situation disappear from your mind and just think about execution. Visualize the pitch, visualize hitting the glove. Take away the gravity of the situation and not let it get into your mechanics or the adrenaline start kicking up too much and you over-try. Right now, I can look into the glove and take myself back to when I was pitching and remember really big situations or moments and thinking about just the flight of the ball and watching it leave my hand and move the way I want it to move and then hit the target. And nothing about what the count was or nothing about the fans going wild or nothing about this. If we get this guy out, we win the game or we win a championship, but really just about the execution of the pitch.
Which reminds me of one of my favorite sports quotes. John McKay from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were just the world's worst team. And they had just been beaten from pillar to post. Somebody in the post-game press conference asked him, "What do you think about your team's execution?" To which he responded, "I'm all for it." 2 balls and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 8th. Dodgers 8-3. Baez, the 3rd Dodger pitcher of the day. Big rip by Beltre.
A quote like that on a press conference would really light up Twitter nowadays.
You got that right.
Trending.
Well, the Bucks in those days were trending badly.
Yeah.
For many years. Joel Peralta won an inning for the Dodgers today. Not so hot. 2 runs, 3 hits. Kershaw was terrific. The 2-2. Chopper slowly hit to second base. Nate Sampson throws to second, on to first. Not going to be in time. Close play at second base as Garcia is forced out there.
Well, Nate did a nice job getting the leading lady right there. That's a 8-3 game, and you get a chopper like that at second. You can decide to take the easy one, or you can put a little pressure on yourself and say, you know what, I'm going to go for the leading one. I'm going to show him I've got this play, and that showed a lot of confidence because no one would have faulted him of taking that ball and going to first base.
The veteran Darwin Barney said, "Good job." Barney, most of spring and really over the course of the winter, defensively there aren't very many better second basemen than he is. Did all of his work at shortstop. Again, to try and be as versatile as possible. Again, that's the difference between the American League and the National League. Double switches rarely, if ever, exist in the American League. That's a big part of the game in the National. If you guys get a guy who can play the infield or the outfield, any number of positions in the infield. Barney, Gold Glove winner with the Cubs at second base.
In the American League, your bench players actually have specific roles in some ways, but in the National League, you have to have the guys that are very versatile. In the American League starters, they don't like to come out of the games, even in the blowouts. They like to pile up the statistics. They don't like to just come out and rest. Where National Leaguers gets changed and interchanged because of pitching changes and defensive changes and all different things that are happening, that it doesn't matter if the veteran wants more at bats or he wants to continue to play. He doesn't want to rest. Well, strategically, we need to pull you out of there, and we've got to get our pitcher in the 9-hole when we make this change.
Gordon Beckham, 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Into center. Peter Lavin racing back. That's 1 hop, and it's off the wall. Beltre will score easily, and Beckham is at second base, making it 8-4. So the leadoff walk by Baez comes back to bite him.
It does right here, and this fastball right here. It's a little slider that he's trying to go out there, and really did a good piece of hit and go down and get that ball. Nice sharp break on the outer half. Just a good piece of hit, and the ball's really traveling today with the light air.
As it did yesterday, and there's no wind whatsoever. Now here's Marrero. Christian Marrero. So this has been Baez's toughest inning of the spring. Missing high and away.
It's time for him to try and lock right in right here. You know, you give up a run, yeah, it's a disappointing feeling, and you feel like you're not doing your job, but you know what? To come back here, get 2 quick outs, avoid giving up that second run, leave a good taste in his mouth and everybody else's mouth as far as how the outing went. You're not going to be perfect, but can you cut down on any damage?
Into center field. Lavin's not going to get it. And Beckham is on his way home, and he is safe. Home plate umpire Anthony Johnson right there. Ali Solis looks at it and says, really?
It's a strong throw from Peter Lavin. I'll tell you what, it's not only strong, it is right on the line. 1 hop, perfect distance. When you got a strong arm like that, you don't go for all the way in the air, and you want to give a long enough hop to the catcher so they can make that swipe tag and get a good view of the ball. Perfect distance.
So 2 runs are in, and the White Sox now have pulled to within 3. Peralta gave up 2 in the 7th. Baez has given up 2 here in the 8th. And journeyman catcher George Gutierrez takes a strike, and it's 0-1. His first at-bat of the day. So Peralta gives up 2 in the 7th, and here is Baez giving up 2 more here in the 8th. And a call strike. 0-2. George Gutierrez.
Tidbits, let's go.
Nothing wrong with his velocity.
No, he seems to be losing the ball a little bit to the arm side up. A couple of these pitches have been hit, been quality pitches. He's just been unlucky, but mainly the count has not been in his favor, and he hasn't really been attacking the strike zone, putting the hitters on the defensive. He's been a little bit more on the defensive during the inning.
Gutierrez down on strikes.
A little different equation once you get ahead of them. So you're able to finish it off with your stuff. The hitter can't anticipate one pitch or the other. You can hit your location, and you get the swing and the miss.
Jacob May's first at bat. Puig a 2-run home run in the second. Jimmy Rollins a 2-run home run in the sixth. Kershaw 6 innings, a run and 4 hits, 8 strikeouts and a walk, 88 pitches, 55 for strikes. Every Dodger starter had at least one base hit today.
And Clayton looked really sharp. You know, early on it was mostly fastballs and he was getting his exercise, but once the White Sox showed they were catching up to that and they started spinning the ball a little bit, he really was dominant. And it was really good to see him use both sides of the plate with his fastball, especially to righties, and painting the outside corner, getting a couple strikeouts looking on the outer half to right-handers. The curveball was there when he needed it. A few slipped out, but it looked like he had the range on it, and the slider was definitely something that he can continue to work on, but it was awesome when he got it down.
Abreu had 3 hits against Clayton. He was about the only one who was able to touch him.
Yeah, that first hit was, you know, when Clayton was in the fastball mode, and to be expected from a great hitter, and just here it is, hit it. The next one was a pretty good battle. They took it all the way to 3-2, and Clayton got backed in, thought he had a shot, and the 2-2 pitch didn't get him out, and then the 3-2 pitch, a little bit too much of the plate, but still only a single.
3 balls and a strike.
Sandy Koufax used to tell me, you know what, the good hitters are going to get their hits. Just make sure the other guys that you're supposed to get out, you got out, so when the good hitter gets his hit, he doesn't have anybody to drive in. You know, and you also, with the good hitters, keep them in the ballpark. Keep them under a double, under a triple. You got a chance of really throwing a lot of innings where you put up zeros. Get the guys out you're supposed to get out, and you battle the good ones.
The crowd of 7,650 has been pruned out. 84 degrees, just a sun-drenched Thursday afternoon. Night game tomorrow. 7 o'clock, the Giants. Greinke to pitch, and Vin will be in the booth. Great way to kick off the weekend. Now on 3-2. May is being a pest up there.
Pedro would love to get him out right here. 3-2, 2 out. He's at 26 pitches already. He'll let one more base runner get on and then give Rick Honeycutt a chance to come out there and not let you finish the inning because they want to protect your arm in the pitch count. At least feel like you finished your inning.
On 3-2, the runner will be off from first. Sampson. The throw is not going to be in time. Throw back to second base, goes into left field. That wasn't pretty. Barrero will be held at third. Hitting an error.
Not a bad idea from Scott Van Slyke on the second throw. Just an errant throw, but he had a chance to end the inning with a little pickoff on a back door at second base.
Well, Mattingly has seen enough. Baez has thrown enough. And we've got a pitching change. 2 out. 2 on and 2 in. Bottom half of the 8th inning. Dodgers 8-5. second and third, 2 out. And Ryan Buckner, who's done very well this spring, came out of the Braves AAA organization. ERA of 3 1/3 last year. And this spring, this is his 6th appearance. 1 run, 2 hits in 4 2/3 innings.
Adding his name to the list to create some depth from the left-handed side out of the bullpen. The criteria for a left-hander, first and foremost, is get a lefty out. Second is, can you pitch a whole inning by yourself, even though there's a few righties coming up? And then after that, can you go multiple innings? And he's working to show that left-on-left situations are no problem.
Second and third, 2 out. Blew it past Micah Johnson, and it's 0-1. Johnson 0 for 4 today, was struck out twice and bounced to second against Kershaw. It gets past Solis. That'll bring in a run in Marrero. Now it's 8-6, and May goes to third.
This has usually been the part of the game where the Dodger young fellas in the second wave really tighten up and win these games and put the Dodger record in the W column. Right now, kind of spinning our wheels trying to get out of this inning.
A ball, a strike, and 2 out. And Johnson takes a strike on the outside corner, 1-2.
Well, if you can hammer that outside corner with that fastball right there to left-handed hitters, and then on top of that have a strike-breaking ball or a sweeper that can go off the corner, you get a lot of left-handed hitters out.
Buckner on 1-2. Blocked that time by Solis. Evens the count at 2. But you know, 2-2, it's not an even count. Pitcher has the advantage.
We only need one more strike to get you out. And you have 2 balls to get a walk.
So that's a misnomer. Evens the count. On 2-2.
So even in numbers, but not in context.
Right.
It reminds me of the signs I used to use with a man on second. I'd use ahead, behind, even. So ahead in the count, first sign, behind in the count, second sign, even in the count, third sign. So you're telling me I was screwed up the whole time I did that. Was never really an even count at 2-2.
I never said that.
I should have really been ahead at 2-2.
I never said that. You know, and signals. How you guys were able to read them and remember them?
There's lots of, the complicated signals come from the third base coach. If you have an indicator as part of the signals, which make the third base coach's body live, you just stare at the indicator.
The 2-2. Buckner strikes out Micah Johnson. But the White Sox score 3 in the bottom of the 8th. We go to the 9th. The Dodgers lead 8-6. Dodgers with an 8-6 lead. And Ryan Buckner comes in and strikes out Micah Johnson. Buckner has been a very interesting dark horse so far this spring for the Dodgers.
Well, as we've talked about the bullpen, it's not about completely who's on the open day roster. It's about who showed well and who will go down into the minor leagues and continue to pitch well and be a candidate to come up, because there's going to be some toggling throughout that area of the team throughout the year.
We were talking about it yesterday. The bullpen has to come up with a way to put 450 innings together. And whatever the number of guys out of the bullpen come up with that number. Now KK Hernandez takes a strike, his first at bat of the day, and it's 0-1.
Well, you hope to get 900 to 1,000 innings out of your starting rotation. That'd be nice. Probably will end up being 6 or 7 guys. You hope it's not 8 or 9.
Hernandez with a wallop to center field. It's way back, and it is gone, a home run. Kike Hernandez, what a spring he has had. For Hernandez, that's his 4th home run. And for the Dodgers, their 3rd of the day. They have 40 this spring.
For a small package, he has a lot of pop, and at the end of this swing, the ball just jumps off his bat. Breaking ball that was up, but he put quite a swing on it to drive it out to center field.
So Hernandez hits one out. Again, we're in the desert. Air is thin. Balls tend to travel. But the Dodgers have gotten their money's worth with 40 home runs this spring. And this is what, the 26th game?
Yeah, it's not like one guy has 10 and another guy has 8. It's spread out through a whole bunch of guys.
Nate Sampson fouls it back.
And that shows there's going to be some length and depth to the lineup, and also to the bench, with the ability of a Justin Turner or Scott Van Slyke to come off the bench and show some power.
Sampson out of Florida. Rule 5 pick. Played in the Arizona Diamondback Club AA in Mobile. And he swings and misses. Sampson has been struck out. Kike Hernandez, what a pleasant surprise he has been. From the Marlins. And the other thing is, again, we had no idea what kind of power he had or has. And again, here we are in Arizona, where the numbers might be somewhat inflated. But one thing we do know, he can play 7 positions out there. And that one is well hit to center field. And that one is over the head. And that one is off the wall. This is Jake Scavuzzo.
Another ball's up in the strike zone. When it's up in the strike zone, a little easier to see, a little easier to get under and drive, and that ball bounces over the center field wall for a ground rule double. Jake showed a good arm in center field, and now he's showing a little pop in his bat.
And Buck Britton is coming up. Well, the young Dodgers aren't afraid to take healthy rips here.
You know, the 3 spot the White Sox put on the Dodgers in the 8th made the game look a little tighter. The pitching was a little loose, and the wild pitch from the mound that scored a run. But now they're just taking a few of those back.
Buck's brother, Zach, pitcher over in Baltimore. Beckham retreating and making the catch.
Tongue-in-cheek on the bench. Britton, when he gets back there, might hear, ball's just not carrying the day to that direction. The balls are leaving in center field. A lot of sarcastic things that get said on the bench.
No.
Kind of jab a little fun at each other.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
2 out.
You hit that ball with a wet Sporting News.
With 2 out. So Britton pops to third. This is Peter Lavin. His first at-bat of the day. In the dirt. And going to third base is Scavuzzo. On the wild pitch. The day began with Kershaw and Penny. And it is ending with a lot of young folk. Phillips way high. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 out. Phillips is the 5th White Sox pitcher. To first. They just do get him. Phillips was a little late to the dance. Lavin runs well. Inning is over. And Kike Hernandez. It's the 3rd Dodger home run. Ninth inning, the Dodgers, who took a 4-1 lead in the top of the second, have had the lead ever since. Chris Hatcher is now on to finish it up. Hatcher, once a catcher, but always with a great arm. Last year in Miami, 52 relief appearances, 60 strikeouts, a dozen walks in 56 innings. But he has struggled here this spring. This is his 7th appearance. 6 runs and 8 hits in 5 1/3, and an ERA of over 10.
Well, I know he struggled, but coming into spring training, this is one of the arms that they thought that could be a real late inning guy. And could this be an audition or a rep to start feeling what the 9th inning is like as we get closer and closer to opening day? And the bullpen is not settled.
First ball swinging and a fly to left field, and Scavuzzo is there. 1 pitch, 1 out. This is Danny Hayes coming up for the White Sox. Took over for Jose Abreu. Abreu had 3 hits off Kershaw. There's Manny Tomas, the highly regarded Cuban star with the Diamondbacks. Chip Hale says today season could begin with Tomas at AAA. Has not acclimated himself terribly well at third base. 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 3 errors in 16 games. And Hale said, yeah, it's a real possibility. $60-something million later.
There's a lot of strategy to quotes, too. Sometimes it's to speak to the fans. Sometimes it's to speak to the players.
A wake-up call. So Danny Hayes on 0-2. Hatcher thought he had strike 3. Home plate umpire Anthony Johnson. Well, this has turned out to be one of the longest spring training games. About 3 hours and 15 minutes.
But the pace of play rules have kind of seemed like they've been working. We don't see a lot of the batters leaving the box and walking around and the umpires having to try and get them in there. We don't see the pitchers wandering around the grass around the mound. They're staying on the dirt and getting right back up onto the rubber.
On 1-2. 2-2. The whole idea, you talk to Major League Baseball executives, it's not to get a stopwatch. What it is, fellas, just keep it moving. If you don't keep it moving, then we'll go to the stopwatch and then the scoreboard and all that other stuff. And there's been, at this point, ground ball in 2 or just aside the White Sox dugout. Guys understand what the rule is there for. They're beginning to understand it. And now, once the regular season rolls around, again, they're just trying to hurry it all up. And 2 hours, but sometimes it feels that way. 2 minutes and 25 seconds between innings.
Well, just get it into the player's consciousness.
Yeah,
build
exactly.
Build the habit throughout the whole game, not just with a few players. The ones that get the reputation for doing things fast. If we can find a way to get everybody else near those guys, you don't have to work at warp speed. But just be conscious that keep the action moving.
Hatcher has had 3 balls called against him, and he thought he had 2 more strikes and currently exist on the scoreboard. And Hatcher just can't finish off Danny Hayes.
There's not a lot of water in the air here. I know, why is he saying that? Well, it's really hard to get those breaking balls to really completely break in this weather, this air. You like a little humidity. Then you get some real sharp breaks, and then you get the ball off the bat.
Once more on 3-2. And we'll do it again. When we had Rob Manfred in the booth last week, talking about the whole question of pace of play, I raised the issue with him. In the 7th game of the World Series last year, the game ran long. The moments ran longer. But each was drenched with great theater and drama. You don't want to take that away either. So it's not time of game as it is pace of game. So when there are those great dramatic moments, drink it for all it's worth.
Well, the game seems slow, I think, when it's about one player. You know, in those dramatic moments, it's about a whole situation.
Strike 3. Solis picks it up, throws to Van Slyke, 2 out.
You know, where strategy is being administered and the managers are involved and the umpire is getting ready to call the balls and strikes and the catcher's putting down the signs and making sure he's got the right ones and the pitcher's staring in and, you know, everybody's in action and the batter's locking in.
And it's those meaningless games in August between 2 last-place teams. Keep it moving. Keep the traffic moving.
Yeah, when 3 people are ready to play and 1 is not, that's when it's the problem. And the people in the picture right there with the pitcher, the hitter, the catcher, and the umpire, it's usually what it's based around.
A 2-out single keeps it alive for the White Sox. By Engel Beltre. No, this is Engel Beltre. That was Drew Garcia. And this is Beltre. No balls and a strike. The White Sox opened their season in Kansas City and play all but 3 of their games against the American League Central in the first month. The Dodgers, with the exception of the Mariners, play all of their games against National League Western Division teams. Drilled to right field, and it will be tracked down by Chris Heisey, and that will end the ball game. So the Dodgers hang on and beat the White Sox today, 9-6. For the Dodgers, 9 runs and 13 base hits. They left 2 men on. I'm sorry, made 2 errors. The White Sox, 6 runs, 11 hits, and no errors. On a day that Puig hit a 2-run home run, so did Rollins. Kike Hernandez, he hit 1. Clayton Kershaw was terrific in his final big tune-up. He's got 1 more, probably 30, 40 pitches in 5 days. But today, 88 pitches, 55 for strikes. 1 run, 4 hits in 6 innings. Struck out 8 and walked 1. So that is going to do it for us here at Camelback Ranch in Glendale. The Dodgers win.